and I'm going to be moderating this panel. So I'm going to start by bringing on our judges. So I can see we've got Hugh with us. I should join in a second. Mike. All right, there's Hugh and Andrew.
Hi there, guys.
Hiya.
All right, just bear with us. Andrew should be coming in very shortly.
Don't worry.
I did select his name, so he should be coming in. Andrew, if you're listening, if you can refresh your page and request to share your video again, then we should be able to put you in. In the meantime, can I ask Mike if you can give a short introduction to yourself and Hayes, followed by Hugh, while we Andrew out.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Hi, everyone. My name is Mike Morgan. I'm the director for the Midlands region for Hayes Technology. Been with Hayes 19 years now, with the technology business for about 8 years. This is my second Super Connect for Good competition that I've done as a judge. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We've been
great. Thank you. And Hugh?
Thanks, Mike. Hi, I'm Hugh Bartlett. I'm the Senior Investment Executive here at Green Angel Syndicates. We're an angel syndicate of about 300 members, investing in seed and kind of Series A, pre-Series A. We are the only angel syndicate kind of specifically focused on green investments. I've been here for about 3 years now, and this is my first time on the judging panel here. So I'm very excited and looking forward to seeing some good pitches.
Okay, it seems we've got a technical issue with Andrew. So what I'm going to do is, he is in the session, so he will be listening. So I'm going to kick things off for us. So just give me 1 second. I've just been moderating 2 other panels. Okay, so our first person is Mirko from Panion. So I'm going to add Mirko while I sort Andrew out. Mirko should join. Hi, Mirko. Thanks for joining.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
I will hand over to you while I sort Andrew out. So if you can share your slides and start your pitch, I'll leave things to you.
So as the first up, I love to check that first. Yeah, thanks and first for having us. We at Ship Zero are a young team of data and sustainability experts located in Hamburg, Germany, and therefore kind of naturally focusing on the transport industry, and we help to decarbonize the freight transportation chains. Why do we focus on the logistics industry? Because it's the only industry of the main ones that has still rising CO2 emissions, and this leads to a huge market opportunity within the next decade as freight procurement goes into a greener direction, and fleet financing is a huge thing for every single carrier that is out there. So why doesn't it work at the moment? Imagine being an OEM, so you know what is going on in your production side, and you know what is going on in the point of sale side, but you have no idea what's going on in between. And there, all the carriers come in, and they don't naturally share their data with them. So it's kind of a huge black box, and there's no model that can actually see what is going on in between to optimize anything. So what we've built is a platform for both, on the one hand, the buyers of transportation, and on the other hand, the carriers, so they can exchange data. So we need shipment data from the transport buyer to be able to have some bottom line calculations on the emissions. And then we take the tracking data from carriers. So we use telematic systems to enhance the granularity of the calculation, and thereby be able to actively reduce emissions, because then we know what is going on a shipment level in the end. And as these parties don't naturally trust each other, we can also kind of filter and curate all the content that is exchanged. How does it look like? We have a web application up and running. where the first one is just like the main metrics of how is it evolving with our emissions, how is our modal split, and how is it monetized, so with the CO2 pricing attached. The second one is the benchmarking feature, which shows any shipper how their service providers kind of rank and from which one they can learn something, and with which one they might not want to work with. The third one is kind of an itemized bill, which allows the carriers for their clients to just generate automatic reports as a service, as added service for their clients, which is more and more asked for. And the fourth one is the optimization potential, which is mostly focused on three pillars. That is renewable propulsion, that is modal shift, and that is consolidation potential on transport lanes. So our pricing is pretty straightforward. It's volume-based, so we offer it to smaller companies as well to have a really inclusive solution. We have 12 months of a minimum so that it makes sense. And for the smaller companies, it really brings a competitive advantage against other ones that don't use it, especially with larger contract customers. And on the other hand, the main monetization obviously comes through the enterprise customers, where we actually have a new pricing level at the moment, which is larger because we currently have one with 15 million shipments per year. So there, the monetization really kicks in. And we hope over the next 3 years to save over 100,000 tons of CO2 with all the measures that we can take out of the system and hand over to our clients. This kind of assumes some minimal driving and disposition behavior changes and a minimal renewable propulsion share within the fleet. And this would actually kind of translate to 10 million euros if you see it as a CO2 value behind it. Yeah, and for that we have a full-fledged team up and running, and we are looking for partners and seed investors to go on that ride together.
Great. Any questions from the judges?
I'll kick us off if you like. I'm just interested by the stage that you're at. What sort of have you got any kind of clients at the moment? Are you what are you finding there?
We have around 3 clients that are live at the moment, and around 3 clients that we have POCs at the moment. And those POC clients are actually really large ones, like DAX size, and the ones currently on the platform are large carriers. So the carrier market is very fragmented. So if you have like 300 trucks, for example, then you're already quite a big boy in that area.
Okay. Mike, do you have any questions?
Maka, how many staff did you start off with, and how many are you up to now? And how long have you been going?
We started with 2. We are currently 9 people full-time on it. So 8 full-time and 2 working students at 50%.
Okay. And what's the plans to get to in the next 12 months?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
What's your plans to get to in the next 12 months?
And we plan to get to 16 to 18 people. And we are actually looking for around 1.5 to 1.8 million in seed financing to have a run rate of like 20 to 24 months then.
Great.
Okay, obviously this is a very low margin market. How's the industry reacted to your volume pricing?
It's quite competitive already. We have to kind of convince them with additional services. So we take all the work from them pretty much, because now they do it manually somehow. And it doesn't really work, but it's only a fraction of customers asking for it now. But they see it evolving. So they see, all right, more and more customers are asking for it, and we need more and more resources to cover that demand. So this automation feature will kick in, I think, within the next weeks. And all the clients we're talking now, they really like to have this feature in it. Other than that, of course, if they don't see a value for them, then the pricing is too high. But we're talking about the minimum of like 300 something euros per month, which is pretty much nothing. So that's not a thing. If we get to the enterprise level, then of course, when you're talking like 3, 4, 5,000 euros a month, then you have to go through all kinds of processes at the large corporates. Yes.
Okay.
Do I have time for one very quick question?
Yeah, go for it.
Just wondering about the optimization potentials. How are you suggesting that, and are they actually putting this into practice?
This is at the moment kind of a project-based thing that we offer to the clients because they're so individual and we are still learning how to do it. We have assumptions for modal shifts where we learn from other companies when we can shift to rail, for example, with all the rail networks in it. We have some analytics running on renewable propulsion. So the network of charging stations, for example, is quite complex in the freight transportation system. So we have that in place and do this on a project basis. And pretty much it's a data science problem, the consolidation optimization potential this way.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks very much. We're now going to welcome Karina at Be Nosy. So I'm just going to put Karina on. I will say that Andrew's having technical issues, so he can vaguely hear, and he might post his questions on the chat. So I'll keep you posted, and we're working in the background to try and support him.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Karina. Please share your slides. Sorry, you've been in four pitches today. So well
I know they are getting better each time, so hopefully you're going to have a better one. So today I'm here to talk about Be Nosy. We are looking at air pollution because 20 minutes in the London Tube is equivalent to smoking a cigarette. 1 hour in your car is also equivalent to smoking a cigarette because of all that smog around you. And if you're not going to be drinking dirty water like in this glass, why are you going to be inhaling dirty air? 2 weeks in London creates that much air that we captured in our filters are dirt. Meaning that, and what it actually leads to is that 1 in 9 people are dying every year because of air pollution. Is now the single largest cause of environmental deaths worldwide. We have 2.3 billion people that suffer from severe hay fever, asthma, or COPD. Asthma is about 17% of the UK population. And those are further exacerbated by air pollution, microplastics, all of these things that we have in our air nowadays. And we only have 30,000 air pollution towers worldwide, meaning that we don't actually understand what we are breathing in. It varies from street to street, and we have no visibility of that data. So the goal of Nosy is to provide, to understand your exposure while also protecting your health. And we do that with a 2-part hardware and software approach. We provide physical protection with our wearable air filter. We also track the air pollution and allergen that we have with the current APIs available, but we are building a mask with sensors where you're going to be able to track the airborne particles outside of the mask and your respiration inside of the mask. And in this way, we're looking to really understand what is the actual air pollution that you're inhaling, feeding that into our network. So we have a more granular idea of what air pollution is like around you. And we can also track what is doing to your long-term health. This is specifically useful for people that are suffering from respiratory illnesses. This can also be used for tracking viruses, by the way. So our traction, we have sold about 1,000 units. That's about 70K in revenue. We have had about 70 distributor inquiries. We are not able to work on those at the moment because we're looking for medical certifications for a V2 that we are currently making right now, which is miniaturized. We have 5 R&D partnerships to investors, 183K in investment and grant funding, and we have been part of a number of TV shows, blogs, features, etc. You may have seen us at Dragon's Den when we were just starting. We were 3 months without a product, just 3D prototypes. So We have been getting amazing feedback from our customers. The main thing is that they have an immediate benefit when they are using it for allergies. Some of them are not even taking medicine anymore because of nosy. And the other thing that we're also really looking at is doing preclinical trials with some of our institutional partners. So we have partnerships with Portsmouth University and hospitals, Birmingham and University of Surrey, amongst a few others like University of Waterloo for our sensor development. And we are looking to further develop our product and run a series of trials to understand what nose is exactly capturing at each time of the year, so we can understand exposure to things like we never understood before, like microplastics, and the impact that is having on asthma and COPD and hay fever sufferers. Our roadmap has been quite busy. I will not go through the entire thing, but essentially we had a proof of concept on 2020, got some patents. We manufactured in 2021, had our first customer feedback. With that feedback, we are redeveloping the product, making it much smaller, going inside of your nose rather than creating a seal outside. We are building the Air app, which is an open app where anyone can see what air pollution is like around them, because the current apps right now are too confusing for people. We have been working with a number of PPI groups in order to actually understand what their needs are, and so to develop the app around that. And we are also building the mask with sensors with the University of Waterloo. Next year, we're looking to actually benefit from the B2B sales after getting some of the certifications that we require and further developing our V2, which is going to be ready to launch in the spring. We are then looking at monetization models further down the line, where we're going to be leveraging the data that we collect to expand on the current available data for air pollution worldwide, and also build AI to be tracking and monitoring the air pollution and that impact on individuals' health. If you have any questions.
Yeah, we've got 2 minutes of questions. Please go.
Hi, Karina. Just a quick question. You said you sold over 1,000 units already. Mm-hmm. How have you managed to make those sales already? How are you marketing the product at the moment?
Yeah, so everything is through e-commerce. We initially did a Kickstarter about 1.5 years ago, and we sold a number of units there. And then we have e-commerce right now. I have not put any marketing through digital or PPC, etc. So everything has been organic or PR focused, because we really don't want to push our current version, because we do want to improve it before we're making it widely available.
So when do you think you're going to get your medical certification for this?
Yeah, so the medical certification is actually not that challenging. It's just we only need a CE mark for our current product because it's external. But the thing is that I didn't want to go for certification of the current product because I do want to make changes. So we're looking to be changing the current version, which is already underway, and making it available to the market in spring, March of 2022.
And you mentioned you've got some retailers lined up. Are we talking like the big players like Tesco's and people like that? Are you going to go to supermarkets, or are you going?
No, so initially we have gotten a lot of input from people in the medical distributors worldwide. So they have been approaching us. We are going to be looking at the likes of Boots. Our price point currently is quite high because we needed to stand out during COVID, and we did a fashion angle, but we since have pivoted and we are looking at decreasing our prices significantly and really focusing on the medical angle.
Okay. Thank you.
Karina, I'd quite like to know what you intend to change as a result of the feedback from those first.
Yeah, of course. So the main challenge that we have had is, I'll briefly give you a look into the nosy. We attach nosy currently with a nasodilator and a magnet that attaches to the inside of the nosy. And this is actually creating confusion for people. So what we're doing is that we're creating a much, much smaller version that goes inside of your nostrils and is going to just sit flush right here without the need of having it 2 separate pieces. So basically making it simpler and smaller so people can also be sleeping with it and not needing to fiddle around with 2 parts.
Hi, Karina, it's Andrew here. Apologies for being late to the session. I was listening to the pitch. I have a question about product development in terms of other products. You have Nosy. Do you have a pipeline of other products that you can go into?
Of course. So you're seeing what we're trying to build the air app. So essentially a way for people to be tracking what air pollution is around them, get notified when they enter high air pollution zones, and also track potential respiratory problems that they may have had throughout the day because they were in that place. And also they can purchase filter replacements, etc. in the app. Then we are also building a mask with sensors, which is actually a full face covering because of the size of the sensors, where with that we are looking to be tracking airborne particles externally and also your respiratory rate internally. So then you can be monitoring what, the impact of pollution. Some of that data will then feed onto your app, so that will provide a more granular level of air pollution data than what's currently available through APIs alone.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that, and fantastic. We've got Andrew on screen. Sorry about that, Andrew. But thanks very much, Karina. And we're going to welcome you off now and welcome the next person on. Thanks so much and good luck. Okay, we are going to head over to Anna. Let's see.
Hello, Hugh, Mike. Apologies for being late. It was a nightmare. Yeah.
Not to worry, Andrew. Tech's always fun, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Anna hasn't come onto screen for some reason. Just make sure she's in the session. Oh, there we go.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Anna.
Please
Please
hear
share
me?
your
Yeah,
slides
so.
and start your pitch.
Sure. Thank you. Well, I see that you can see my screen right now, no? Hello? Okay, sorry, you're mute. So, thank you for having me here. No, I am Anna. I'm from Climate Trade. I am the operations manager. So, Climate Trade was born 4 years ago in order to disrupt the traditional carbon markets, no, and to create or to help or support technologies that really fight or helps to fight against climate change. Our main objectives, of course, we are focusing in carbon emissions, no? So that is why we create to disrupt these traditional carbon markets our marketplace that is called the Climate Trade, of course, and we work with voluntary and mandatory carbon market. And actually, what we do exactly is to help companies to fulfill their sustainability commitments, no? So that is why we create this platform. It's fully automated, and it's kind of the Amazon, to make you understand, it's kind of the Amazon, Airbnb, or eBay of carbon credits. No, we put in contact companies or corporations that want to offset the carbon emission with the project developers that have those credits. No, because they have to offset with the carbon credits. So our highest value is actually blockchain. That is the technology we use. To make you understand, basically, this technology, what allows is to record all transactions, every single transaction, and that those transactions are incorruptible. So this is really relevant in order to bring transparency, to the sustainability strategy for the corporations. As it's automatic, as it's a marketplace, it's fully automated, so we avoid the traditional intermediary, and with that, of course, we reduce the cost and we speed up the transactions. Something relevant also of this is about the amount of projects we have on the platform, no? Because nowadays we have more than 100 projects worldwide, different types, different kind of projects. I mean, biodiversity, we have projects, renewables, I mean, internationally, and every single type of project. Of course, the projects are certified with the highest international reputation standards as CDM from United Nations, from BERRA, BCS, and Gold Standard, and so that is so on. So in this way, how we make impact, no? How we measure that impact from our side is clear. The tons offset, no? The CO2 offset. But we have another impact surrounding this main impact, environmental one. we have a social impact that we can measure it with the SDGs involved or in every single project. For example, we have projects that generate jobs or helps in the gender equality or protect the species of animals and that stuff. So it's depending the project we are offsetting or the corporation is offsetting the carbon emissions. There are many different ways to measure our impact, social and environmental ones. 2 years ago, we were looking actually to involve our clients' customers in the equation. No, why only the companies or the corporations offset the emissions? I mean, we are citizens, we are users, we consume products and we consume service. So that is why we developed this API, our API. To make you understand what is the API, is kind of a bridge, technological digital bridge or tool that we use to offer our services of carbon offsetting into any system. We can put it in any system, no? I mean, integrate in any system. I mean, with our API, every single company that can offset service or products carbon neutral. For example, with Meliá or Telefónica that are already clients from Climate Trade, we offer carbon neutral rooms and it's really nice because you can first of all know the exact carbon footprint that you are consuming, and you can offset during the same reservation process in Meliá, for example, that is live. And we have the same but for products in Telefónica. They have a portal called do.com, and what they say is they sell carbon neutral devices. Exactly, if I want to buy a phone, for example, I can do it by carbon neutral during the same process. And even in this example, I can, as a customer, I can select the project where I want to invest, no? Where I want to offset my carbon footprint. So
Anna, I'm afraid that's been kind of a little bit longer than 5 minutes. Any final closing things? Sorry, I'm conscious of other people.
On that queue. So yeah, if you can proceed to questions of 2 minutes, then we'll go from there.
Yeah, Anna, thanks very much. One question from me. There are groups of investors now who regard carbon offsetting with some skepticism because they think it just carries on permitting polluting behavior. Do you have any element to your business plan that, whilst it also deals at the core with offsetting carbon that inevitably will be generated, also encourages those same businesses to reduce carbon, which would begin to answer those critical investors? I'd just like your comments on that, please.
Yeah, sure. Well, I wanted to talk about the bio-urban because this is not only about budget, of course, I agree with you. This is about also to reduce. And that's why we support companies that develop kind of devices like this one that is our Starlight Device. It's an artificial tree that captures the same CO2 as 368 trees. No, it's so small, you can put it in a square, you can put it somewhere. We promote this kind of technologies as in both sense. I mean, for example, we are working with governments already in Mexico. There are many bio-urbans installed already, and we have the same, that it's a microalgae system that captures CO2 and just converting into oxygen. And we have also other kind for of course, bigger one, not to scale up this model. And we have the same model, but just for example, for industries, no? And of course, as I told you, we have different technologies surrounding this.
Anna, I'm sorry to interrupt. Thanks for the explanation. Just an observation from me would be to emphasize that when you're presenting to certainly certain types of investors, the types that we deal with certainly, would be to emphasize that you are interested in reducing carbon and that you also offer carbon offset. That won't be the same message for all investors, of course. There are all different types out there, but certainly, I would like to see that sort of message coming through just a little more. But thank you very much for the presentation. Mike, if you've got anything to add.
Thank you, Andrew.
Okay, fantastic. Is that the end of this one? Yeah. Okay, great.
Yes, I think so. Thank you very much, Anna. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
We're now going to welcome Ignacio. So just give us 1 second.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Hi, Ignacio.
All right.
Thanks for joining, and please share your slides. And Anna, if you can press leave,
Yeah.
it'll take you off video. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for the organization. It's been great to see like how many good projects there are. Basically, I'm going to focus on people. All right. Basically, we live in a society that is doing better than many ways before. But if we keep looking into detail, we still have like many pending issues. For example, the consumption of antidepressants, or the people that live with some sort of purpose disorder. Basically, that was the origin of our project, finding out that maybe we were losing the way or the proper way to live. And we wanted to make people reflect on what they were basing like the purpose of their life. So at the same time, we realized that people, I mean, regulations and the different like shareholders of companies and organizations were kind of concerned about these ESG metrics and different like processes. And the way of solving that was to hire a sustainability manager and to make him responsible of the whole impact. So first point was, why if we are all basically responsible for the world, we are just placing one guy or one girl in each company to think about this. So we wanted to switch the way we think about sustainability, and we thought that maybe we could implement a new way of having good results that counted on everyone's effort. So we created a platform to be able to train and to educate and involve everyone in the different organizations in this like sustainable living, so to say. First thing was to see if people were really wanting to be part of this. We found out that 95% of the people said, all right, I'd like to do something more. And then afterwards we asked them, and if you'd like to, why haven't you done anything until now? And they were like confused on the way they could contribute. So and also like feeling lonely when taking action. So they were like getting unmotivated because of not knowing how to contribute and feeling alone. So we focused on that. What we do now is we understand, like, if a company wants to be carbon neutral, for example, we're bringing like thousands and thousands of ways that with little actions people can contribute, and we measure the impact of everyone. So in the end, we can basically count on the effort on the little daily habits of lots of people in our organizations to make the difference. It is, of course, done through an application, a very simple and gamified app that is basically focused on telling people what they can do and how they can do it, and to show them that they're not alone. Of course, there is we count on what's the impact of every of the challenges that they take, and you can basically configure it so that it affects like the most like important stuff or strategic stuff for each corporation. The point is that we got like 76% of the people saying that they are learning new habits and implementing them in the routine, and we managed to multiply like the involvement of people in ESG strategies in different companies. In only 1 year, we're working worldwide with different corporations. We got more than 25 people using the application, also like in universities. And in the end, what we're trying to do is to include this human value or these human contributions in the capitalist society. Of course, being part of this and counting on your help would be great to us, because we are facing now like the international expansion and raising like the Series A. and counting on your help would be great.
Ignacio, thanks very much for that presentation. This is an area of great interest to me for sure. One question from me first. Who do you see as your main customer type? Do you see taking this app into businesses and being then permitted to roll it out to their employees across the board, with the business being your customer? Or do you see your users, your customers being the individuals first? Which way round do you view that?
In the end, we're working B2B in a B2B environment because we can count on the company's effort and on closed communities to reach people. We are pretty confused now, we're very busy, and it's not easy to get into them. So having like a corporation helping us or making or being the way of getting to these people allows us to have more impact and to work in a long-term basis.
Okay, and just in terms of your pricing model or your business model,
yeah,
do you then sell the solution to the business, and is there any linkage in terms of your rewards for that sale to the carbon reduction that the business achieves? Perhaps it achieves better employee attendance because employees get healthier and all that sort of thing. Is there any linkage to your pricing model?
Yeah, I mean, we are a B2B SaaS, so where basically we allow corporations to use our system, and we help them and accompany them with a customer success team that is linking and configuring each of the projects towards the strategic goals. And you can also they can also incentivize the winners, because we have a ranking with the different compensations that they decide. There are companies that are placing bonuses, and there are others that are more into allowing their employees to visit the social project that they have in Africa or whatever,
Thanks, Ezra. Mike, please go on.
Just a quick one. So if you're looking to scale up and sell this product to different companies all around the world, are you going to have to set up sales teams all around the world? Are you going to do it from one location, from where you are?
Probably we're now discussing about this, because even if we are working worldwide, we were in this initial phase focused on selling in Spain, but the projects have been running globally. I mean, the ticket is pretty high, what we charge, because it is understood that something very strategical, and it allows us to have a sales team and not to be sold only via web. I mean, you need to have someone guiding you in these first instances.
Okay, thanks very much. Hugh, did you have anything brief?
Yeah, just a very quick question. Obviously, behavioral change apps often have very good early traction, but struggle to kind of scale and commercialize. What's your retention rate like with?
We haven't been 1 year in the market yet, so I cannot really have very strong metrics on customer success. But I can tell that there hasn't been any project where we started that ended already. Everything we have done got upsales, and we have been contacted from other countries that saw what we were doing in the Spanish subsidiary, etc. So it's running very, very well. I mean, in the end, I think the secret is that the product is working well and people are really enjoying it and liking it. So
that's great. Thanks very much, Ignacio. I'm really sorry to cut you off, but we're tight for time. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Hi, hi everyone. We're running 5 or 6 minutes behind due to the technical issues, and also some of the other companies were pitching in other sessions, so we're coordinating to make sure they're on. But we're good. We've just Aaron's just finished in General Tech for Good, and I'm going to bring him on now. A second. Aaron, thanks for joining us and doing so many pitches. and I'll leave you to share your
Yeah,
screen.
this is my third one. Hopefully, third time lucky.
Great, thank you.
It's only getting better. Hey guys, so thank you for having me at the CleanTech. Well, this is actually the best fitted for us. So we are Electric Miles. I'm Arun Anand. I'm the founder CEO. So climate change is real and is already happening. Electric vehicles are seen as a solution, hence they are on the rise. I mean, there's estimated to be 9 million electric vehicles in the UK alone and 150 million around the world by 2030. However, there's a growing problem as 80% of today's charging is on demand, leading to uncapped charge bills and network congestion. To be honest, what's happening today with the petrol crisis, I can see we're going to have an electricity crisis in the next 5 years if we don't solve this. Also, a bit of background, I'm an EV user for the last 5 years and I lived through the pain point and hence decided to solve it for the world due to my background in 15 years working for the energy sector. So Electric Miles was born to solve this problem. So we are an intelligent data-driven management service to manage and leverage not only users' expectation, but at the same time do it for the grid. So before we get into solution, 3 problems we're trying to solve. One is the grid problem, too many EVs on the road, and that's going to lead to 30% rise in electricity peak. But the biggest problem is the instability which is going to cause at the local grid level as a result of the demand. The other problem is the driver's problem. Just there are too many apps at the moment, and it still doesn't solve the smart charging issue. And thirdly is the business fleet problem, as growing number of businesses have been forced in a way to convert into EVs. They don't know exactly when to charge to get the lowest cost. They don't have the software tools to make sure the right amount of charge in the vehicle, and basically it's going to lead to inefficiency, business downtime, and a lot of chaos. So hence our solution, where you set it, we charge it, is we take the whole ecosystem into account, right from the car, the charger, the meter, electricity infrastructure, supplier, and the end consumer. And as an output, drivers save money, businesses are able to monetize on the asset, and the grid is able to lower the demand so that they don't have to go and build more power plants. So our app been out there for the last 6 months. We've been doing beta trial, and it helps drivers to save the money. It talks to the car so that we can read the state of charge and do clever automation. And finally, as I said, we got this grid flexibility where we are trialing this API with the local grid, and we hit some success with some contracts, which I'll get to. So our app is simple to use, set up. It can basically register, a consumer can register, add their car, add the supplier, add the charger, and automate and bang on. They set it, they forget it, and we optimize it in the background. In terms of our business model, we are purely B2B at the moment. B2B2C. Our buyers of our product are charge point manufacturers, leasing companies, energy suppliers, and eventually car manufacturers who will pay us for per user subscription, which in turn the direct consumers are going to consume. And really the beneficiary of our tech is as I said, is the DSO and National Grid, where we've now secured 20 megawatts of contract where we could earn about up to £200 per year per driver. Currently, we got a couple of tiers of our product, which we're working on. So Smart App has gone live. We've got 2 contracts now with the charge manufacturer to deliver that, but we will be delivering an intelligent app as well with calendar trip integration, solar charging, and eventually hit vehicle to grid and stuff. Yeah, in terms of our traction point, this is a growing ecosystem, very dynamic. So we've been talking to each of these sector of ecosystem, and at the moment we hit a lot of success with energy suppliers, DSO, and charge point manufacturer, where we got about 4 contracts in total. In terms of our vision, we're just getting started. We are completely hardware agnostic, software. So we are delivering this product for charge point operators and the V1 and the demand side response flexibility. But next year, with more money being raised, we can look at fleet charging, supplier product, and subscription service, and eventually be the X2G, vehicle to home and vehicle to grid, and be that energy of internet marketplace. We are a tech company, So as you go through this pyramid, we starting with smart charging. It's just a beginning. I think now with intelligent charging, consumers will be able to save more with more automation. And then there's demand response with so many EVs on the road, which basically going to act like a virtual power plant is what we are looking to build. And when vehicle to grid comes on board, the value keeps on growing. There's estimated to be at least £400 per charger we can monetize when V2G comes on board. We are a global scalable solution in the sense it's being software. EVs are happening around the world, and we hit some really good interest and traction in the US. We were through Barclays Eagle Lab program. We got working with some partners to do some pilots through a customer, a major charge point customer could take us to Europe, and then we are part of the Energy Tech Hub in Australia. Hey, we couldn't do this without a fantastic team and expertise in energy, software, and venture building. We are excited that the team is stacked up to scale this solution. Eventually, we are this charging nervous system technology, completely software which connects all energy system actors in real time and really optimize charging flexibility and drive value to all the stakeholders. We reckon by 2024, we can make up to £300 per EV for users on our asset through various ways of monetization, as we could see here. And eventually, it's being that platform of choice of right charge in the right vehicle at the right time at the cheapest possible cost for asset owners and grid operators, and really help achieve climate change goals and net zero target for UK and rest of the world. So thank you very much, guys. I'll take questions.
Thanks very much for that. Very interesting. Clearly, EV's massive growth area. One question from me first. You said that there's a huge number of apps out there. What's going to keep your customers with you? What are the barriers for entry? How do you protect your customers from, at the end of a contract period of 12 months or whatever it may be, just going somewhere else and using somebody else's technology? And also, if you can talk a little bit about potential exits. It seems to me that sector is absolutely ripe for consolidation and potential acquisition. What those two questions, if you could cover, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrew. I mean, firstly, yes, because if you look at our go-to-market strategy, we are not aiming to go B2C straight because the attrition is too high and it's hard to keep consumer afloat and cost of acquisition is too high for a sort of young startup like us. So we're going to manufacture where we've now signed a contract with a major British manufacturer where we're going to come out of the box, and we signed a contract for 50,000 chargers in the next 3 years, which means their consumer would not have a choice initially to the way the technology works is that if you're using a certain manufacturer, you have to use that app at the moment. It might change in the future where probably it might work in our favor, but for now, our forecast suggests that we're going to have by next year 20,000 assets on our platform where obviously the learning will be tremendous. Also, the other go-to-market is with energy suppliers, where we're going to white label our app for their brand and for their tariff. It's the essence is tariff is quite important because people are going to be price sensitive because demand of an EV is the size of a 3-bedroom house. So their consumers are going to see doubling the energy prices. You're already seeing that on the news now with the volatility in the energy prices. So price is key. And finally, on the exit question, I mean, I think this is definitely a hot sector. No denying that. But we probably, I mean, yes, we have thought about our exit route. It could be any one of our current customer base, manufacturers to OEMs. But we had a great call with like Jaguar Land Rover, and they wanted to do a pilot. Eventually, they want to see smart charging happening from the dashboard of the car.
So shortly, I'll be adding you onto video.
Okay, Aaron, thanks very much. Hugh, Mike, do you have anything brief to add?
Nothing from me.
for time's sake, no, I think I've got a good idea. Thank you.
Thanks, Hugh. Thanks, Mike. Aaron, thanks very much. And Costa.
Yeah, please visit us at the booth if you have anybody.
Yeah, well, likewise, you can have a look at our booth too. Greenbackers, go on over there to have a plug there. So, thanks very much, Aaron. Good luck. Best of luck. Thanks for your pitch. Hey, Costa, I don't know if you're ready to add the next candidate.
Sorry about that, guys. Okay, we have David. I've just managed to track him down. Hi, David. Thanks for joining and taking my call. I'll leave you to share your screen and do your pitch.
Okay.
So you do you share your screen with the button below your video. There should be a photo of an icon of a computer with a red line through it.
Are you seeing it?
Yes.
Okay. So you want me to talk for 5 minutes, is that right?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to IGS. We're an 8-year-old developer of the finest vertical farm technology on the planet. I can say that because our Series A investors on the right there have followed their money into our Series B, on which we've done our first close and are due to do our second close next week. Vertical farming is basically about taking a field, cutting it up into snooker tables, stacking them 9 meters high in racking inside a totally biosecure controlled environment, and managing it through your mobile phone, making recipes of weather to grow Michelin star crops, either from seed to harvest inside the farm itself, or in a hybrid model, taking it out into polytunnels, soft fruit, vine fruit, or taking it out into fields now with things like broccoli and potatoes. It's a huge market. It's growing very fast. And it's currently way, way overvalued with ridiculously high SPAC deals going on in the United States. Loads of money trying to get into this business. We are unique in that we do not grow crops for commercial sale. We've made this covenant with the market. It's the best choice that I've made in the 4 years I've been in this business. So we are the vendors of the best technology to farmers all around the world. And we're the only people who can make a claim on 5 adjectives. We are productized, we're scalable, we can become industrial, we're modular, and it's very, very agile, which means you can do loads and loads of different things with it. Wherever you are in the world, there is a huge challenge around food. Agriculture used to be the second most polluting industry on the planet after transport. COVID has seen to transport. So now the circular irony is that the way we grow our food is the thing that is making it hardest for us to grow our food. So we need completely new paradigms. We work with the new breed of wannabe urban farmers, growing from seed to harvest, broadacre farmers, people under polytunnels. But what matters is there are 4 types of off-taker between them and you, the consumer. So food ends up in your belly, either through contract catering, food manufacturing, grocery retail, or the hospitality and tourism industry. The other impact on this sector is governments trying to create secure, localized food supply chains in some parts of the world. The problem with it is, though, it's got huge challenges. You're taking hundreds of thousands of living organisms and putting them in a metal box. So massive draw on energy, very difficult to control the light to actually mimic real climates. Ventilation, as you can imagine, is a huge issue inside a concealed environment with living organisms. And for the most part, people have far too many human beings inside the growing area. If you ever see a picture of a vertical farm with someone wearing a hairnet, a white lab coat and carrying a clipboard, run a mile because they don't know what they're doing. We talk about having 3 E's as the targets that cause us to make any investment in the product or a market. So if you can't grow great food, don't plant the seed. If you can't make money, don't plant the seed. And if you're going to destroy the planet in the process, don't plant the seed. But if you buy an IGS farm, go ahead and plant the seed. So everyone thinks of it as leafy greens. We have now done soft fruits like the strawberries you see there, vine fruits like peppers and the chilies you can see, roots like the baby turnips and radishes, and now absolutely terrific seed potatoes, 8 varieties, which we can take to places like sub-Saharan Africa, as well as the United States and Australia. Edible flowers, but also flowers for botanics that are going into the perfume industry in France. Yes, we've got the leafy greens along the bottom, but we're now also doing forestry. These are 75mm high starter plants for the Forestry Commission and Forest and Land Scotland, as well now as the John Muir Trust for rewilding. So on those, that's the great produce. The second thing is economics. Our farm gate cost is 10% of the wholesale market price in London, but using Basel as an example. So the profit available to our farmers is incredible. Aero Farms did their SPAC about 3-4 months ago. They published their data. Their cost of production per unit is 8.5 times, not percent, times greater than ours. In terms of the environment, we make 5 major claims about things that we do, but we basically, I'll call a couple of them out. We use 1/250th of the water that's needed in a field to grow a lettuce. We have 0 emissions, and we can use 0 hydrocarbons. So what have we achieved? Under the pandemic, we've gone from no sales to 40 million. We've gone from 1 continent to 4 continents. We've gone from 25 people to 130 people. That has included a whole load of interns and apprentices. We now have 18 nationalities, and about 30% of our workforce now are women, which is unusual in an engineering section. And we got lots of women coming into STEM jobs. Our Series B was oversubscribed 20x. We didn't spend 1 penny marketing it and got 70 proposals. We went out for 15 million and got 300 million worth of term sheets. The valuation has increased 10x in under 2 years. And we've been cited in David Attenborough's recent book, which he did with the WWF, as part of the answer to saving the planet. And we're building a vertical farm on the banks of the Clyde for COP26, which will also be an educational facility for schools. Last year, we sold these deals here with these logos. We're rolling out these sites now, and this is where we're heading by the end of our business plan. That's us. Thank you very much. Oh, if you want to learn more, by the way, look at The Economist. They just made a documentary on us, Blood, Sweat and Dreams, film number 1 of 15 things that can save the planet.
David, thanks for that. It's hugely impressive. I'm tempted to ask what you're doing pitching here, to be honest, because it seems to me like you're on a very much an upward trajectory. I'm very engaged with what you're doing. I love it. I think it's amazing. I guess the question I would ask would probably sit around your pricing model and barriers to entry from others. Do you sell your farms to farmers? Do you lease them? Do you have different models, and do you, in achieving both of those, provide finance packages to support the farmers in acquiring your kit? How does that all work?
Well, sorry, I'll just jump in and say that the competition's open to Series B, so that's what David's here doing. But yeah, I'll hand over to you, David.
Well, I get that. I don't think he's going to have a lot of trouble, is really what I'm trying to say. But anyway,
well, I think it's a great question. I think at the time that we were considering this, or we agreed to do this, we hadn't realized the tsunami that would hit in terms of interest from the Series B. So I don't mean that to sound in any way patronizing. We're always grateful for a chance to show off the kit. So I'll stop sharing the screen. You can pick that Economist thing up for yourselves. Yeah, so the business model has been CapEx. There are 3 major barriers to adoption. One is customers raising finance for a brand new proposition. Second one is getting a lease on land. And the third one is planning permission. We've got ways of knocking all 3 of those over. But we're just about, well, in fact, I launched yesterday in Amsterdam our new paradigm called Farms as a Service. So we have a customer in Jungle in Paris who are now doing crops as a service. They signed 9-year subscription agreements with Intermarché and Monoprix, because this thing is so reliable and predictable. We've now extended that, and we're working with some asset finance people. So you will be able to subscribe and basically lease or rent or pay a subscription to use one of our farms. We will own the asset. You, Mr. Farmer, will operate it. We will maintain it. So we're doing our first deals on that basis now, and we're working with Bruce Sinclair, who wrote the IoT outcome-based economy book on building that model out. The other thing you should know is that in agricultural terms, the payback is fantastically quick. So this thing will make money in month one because the growing cycles are so short. You can sell crop within a month. And the payback period anywhere we sell in the world is between 2.5 and 4 years. And in agricultural terms, that's next week.
David, thanks. I see Hugh and Mike are both keen to ask questions. Hugh, please.
Fantastic pitch. I echo what Andrew said. You seem to do very well. What I'm interested by is what innovations really scare you in this space, in the vertical farming space. What are you looking that you're like, that's really cool?
So we have registered 17 patents so far in 6 families. And in terms of the actual growing area, we have got a version of that is now nailed on. We are investing 2 million a year in continuous R&D to, always add things like more sensors, more AI, more machine learning, and so on and so on. We work with 50 vendors, so Osram on the lights, for example, Omron on the robots. And we're humble enough to know that, we don't know everything. So we're continually looking for new things. A lot of the stuff that interests us is actually adjacent to the farm. So if you think about strawberries and tomatoes, the 2 big challenges are finding the fruit and then picking the fruit without damaging it. So we're working with some guys on those kind of technologies. We're looking at new substrates, foam-based substrates. We're looking into shallow water culture as well as hydroponics, and we're looking into aeroponics as well. So to be honest with you, it is a nascent industry. There is a huge amount of bullshit, and I've been in print in the Financial Times saying exactly that. It's an industry that needs to grow up. It needs to be market-led and data-driven, and we need huge amounts of innovation to get a wider range of crops economically viable.
David, we're miles over time, but Mike, please. Go ahead.
Just a really, really quick one, David. One of the things that stood out for me, I mean, your pitch was amazing, so I haven't really got anything to do with kind of like business or growing it. But what I was really interested in is you mentioned ED&I, and you mentioned the attraction of females into this engineering company. I was keen to understand, because I'm heavily involved in the EDI strategy for my own company. How have you done that? How have you got the girls to come join this engineering firm?
I think if I called them girls, they'd probably beat me up. We used a thing called the Saltire program from Entrepreneurial Scotland, and we deliberately, if we had 2 candidates that were even, for a particular thing, we would always take a woman if we could. We've got women leaders, so Kathleen, who is our global products deployment director, Sarah, our CFO, Anna, our CMO. So we've got women in leadership positions. We've got women leading our software team, our Scrum Master. And so we've built up these people as kind of icons. And then when we've got the interns in, we did 15 interns this year. And for an early stage company, that is huge, but it's been brilliant. And we've given 5 of them part-time jobs so that they can pay their way through their final year of university. And, women in engineering is really becoming a thing. I would urge you to look at the sort of apprenticeship, internship route, and it's a brilliant way to bring them in.
Great. That's brilliant, David. Thanks very much. It's very good luck to you. It doesn't sound like you'll need much of it, but I really love what you're doing, and we support you completely. Thanks very much.
And if any of you would like to come and get a virtual tour of the farm, it'll blow your mind away.
Okay. Thank you. Costa, thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks very much, David. Okay, sorry everyone that we're running behind. A mixture of technical issues, but also 2 of the companies pitching were in General Tech for Good, so we've had to be waiting for them. So I'm now going to see, I'm just going to check if William can join us. But if not, let's put Justin in first. Okay.
Morning all. There's no pressure after David's pitch.
Over to you.
We all start with a blank sheet. Don't worry, please.
Thank you very much. I'll do it now. Can you see my screen? Okay. Right. Can you see now? Hello?
Yes, we can see it.
Oh, cool. Right. We are Orange Power. We make decarbonization secure, smart, and affordable. Myself, Justin Ma, I'm the director of Orange Power. So what is the problem? The real problem is, well, the good news part is Britain's wind farm hit all-time high in 2020. So we are finally over 50% from 2019 on the renewable side. However, the bad news is 75% of the days, National Grid has to pay 500 million per year for wind farms to not generate due to the wrong demand pattern. So this is where we started. So how exactly that problem is? So customer cannot easily match their electricity demand with renewable output at the moment. And second part is there's no incentive or any mechanism or algorithm for the customers to selling that part of the flexibility back to the grid, which can be a huge saving potentials for each year. So what we're going to do about it as Orange Power? We have launched our product, the Grid Rewards platform. So that's a AI-powered autonomous energy trading platform. So that will do the controlling, the energy trading, as well as the settlement. So we are basically the Airbnb in the energy sector. We turn every home into a virtual power plant. So what exactly that means? So the product we have, if I'm an Orange Power customer, and I can download the Grid Rewards app. So basically what's going to happen is anything within my house, that's electricity part, or all the major brands. For example, if I have an electric vehicle of BMW, if I have a Honeywell controller of my heat pump, if I have my energy charger, if I have a Nibe heat pump, or if I have a Huawei battery, for example, I can all do that through the app by having one click or one login of my username and password. And that will connect my devices with the Orange Power or Grid Rewards trading platform. So what's going to happen later on? What the platform is going to do is they're going to receive all the trading commands from different energy markets and translate that into a control command to all the linked house devices. And then what's going to happen is when the trading is finished, and it will automatically settle with the price and the payment back from the grid. So this is on the right-hand side how the trading looks like. So basically, we are compelled with about 80% of the existing hardware on the market. If you don't have the latest version of the hardware, we can provide you with our own hardware as well. So what exactly going to happen is on the right-hand side, so these are the energy market, or these are the energy big grid companies. So they are procuring about 2.3 billion every single year on the flexibility market. And on the left-hand side, so these are our customers owning all these devices in the house. What basically coming in from Orange Power point of view, so we come in to offer the response service from the asset of domestic to the grid, and then take the payment back from the grid and pass them back on to the customers. So now we have about 1.2 small portfolio to start with, and that's almost the size of a Siemens wind turbine, and that's normally costing about 1.3 million to build. So from last month, we started trading, and we have got about 28,000 pounds already. So that's the 1.5 months trading. So this is reoccurring revenue. So we're getting different contracts from different grids and in the pipeline. So this is basically how our project's going to do. So we're going to do 4 different trial projects until next March, and then we will consolidate that business model or trading model, and then start scaling. So we are a growing team. We are a team of 8. So build it all, scaling from team of 1 or 2 and all the way to team of 8 in about 3 months. So I used to work for National Grid about 12 years. So I designed majority of the market, like response, reserve market, or involved in designing them. So I have majority of the engineers are developing background. So we can basically releasing the feature almost like every single day. That's why we can connect it to so many different brands in such a short time, like a 3 months time. So this is the ticket size we're raising for later on. So I can share that as information. So we'll be raising about 450K as our seed round, and then basically to consolidate our technical team and also be able to scale with different market customer size. So just to give you a few examples, what we connected so far. So for example, we have connected to some of the charging Scotland points, and this you can see that grid rewards label, and to solve some of the local problem. And they have about 3,000 charging points we can now access to. And the stage 1 for them is to offer the demand side response, and stage 2 will be offering the RFID card as a charging for free charging, as well as managing that part of the membership. So we can do batteries, we can do heat pumps, and we can do CHPs, which could be commercial, most of them. And we can do EVs as well. So the EVs part, we can do about 12 different brands. And then by clicking one button, you will have those brands connected. So yeah, please join us on this journey. And with Orange Power, we can accelerate this net zero faster. Many thanks.
Thanks very much for that. Very, very interesting. Just a quick question from me. In terms of the duration of your contracts with your customers, how long can you lock those in so that you can protect your customer base from others who are entering this very busy marketplace?
Yeah, at the moment, originally we thought we're disrupting the grid side, but actually we are disrupting the battery storage. So we are only about 5 to 10%, some cases 20% of the cost of battery storage. So we can offer them really low price. And for the term of the contract, we can do between 1 year and all the way to 7 years. And so for longer investment if needed, we can get a 7 years contract.
Okay, thank you. Mike, Hugh, any questions from you?
None from me on this one. Very good, Justin. Very good.
Thank you,
Thanks, Mike. Hugh.
Same with me. Same with me.
Thank you.
You're on mute, Andrew.
Andrew, I think you're on mute. We can't hear you, Andrew, I'm afraid.
Sorry, I was just saying, very interesting background, Justin. I think that will be a strong supporter of your business. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Andrew.
Good luck with what you're doing. Costa, back to you.
Thank you, Justin. I'm going to put Donatella and Laura on, so it'll be Donatella that pitches first. It's Laura that will pitch third. I just have to track down William, who was in the previous session. So I'll just do that now and just have Donatella join us. Sorry we're running behind, everyone. So many of them were in the general. Okay. Laura,
okay. Hi, everyone. I'm sure.
Laura, close your screen for now.
Sharing my screen.
Just take your camera off, Laura. Thank you.
Okay. Do you see that?
Yes, we see that, Donatella. Thank you. Please proceed.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, I'm Donatella Termini, co-founder of Seeing Ltd. I'm presenting today our product Simon, an intelligent system connecting, monitoring, and managing solar installations. Within 2022, 113 billion kilowatt-hour of solar energy should be produced. The point is that around 50% of this energy is lost because of the Lucky Mountains. And thus Simon intends to recover these losses. This problem is related to the no cost of maintenance. And in fact, because accumulated dirt, dust, but other elements over the panel, a reduction in their efficiency around 85% occurs. Another problem is related to the fact that the major part of owners of solar installation do not know the status of their system. This is because of the difficulty to reach them or to the inefficient monitoring system. Literature also demonstrates that around 30% of solar installations are characterized by malfunctioning or damaging, so that fire events may occur. Thus, the solution of all these problems is our product Simon, which is an AI platform allowing to check the efficiency of the installation in terms of the new energy produced. It allows the info alerting, describing the typology and the location of the anomaly, and also it allows to schedule maintenance operation, determining an intelligent intervention program. As it is now, around 20% of renewable sources is solar. So that the global market is huge, and it's expected to reach around 113 billion pounds in 2025. Our traction, we obtain some UK grants by governative institutions, academic institutions, but also by private companies. We obtain also other revenues by our actual clients outside UK. Here you can see our team. Hi, CTO and co-founder Sing Ltd, Giuseppe Aragonese, CEO and co-founder Sing Ltd, both of us with more 30 years of experience, respectively, in experimental numerical research and in risk analysis. Then we have two advisors, experts in AI applications, from Imperial College and Oxford University, and three collaborators, respectively, for technical aspects, management aspects, and commercial ones. Our business model consists in annual monitoring cost, which is as a percentage of kilowatt-hour produced per year, plus one-time cost for leasing our monitoring equipment. As an example, for a medium size of installation, which is around 400 kilowatt installed, we can obtain a revenue of around £14,000 per year. Against our competitor, Simon is the only product which does not require the installation of any additional device close to the panel. It allows the real-time alerting and the identification of the typology and the location of the filter. Furthermore, it controls a new IoT cleaning device in which we are working on. We expect to reach a revenue of around £2.5 million at the end of the second year. Thus, we require around £500,000 in order to finalize the training of AI algorithm, to finalize the cloud computing model for marketing and employers. Our exit strategy is based on the 3 phases merger and acquisition process. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Donatella. Very interesting presentation, and thank you for it. One question for me to kick things off. You said that your solution doesn't require fitting the new technologies close to the panels. Do you fit, say, sensors inside the project somewhere? And if you do they indicate that, back to the owner, there is a problem? Do they indicate the nature of that problem? But can they offer the solution? And you mentioned that you're developing a new cleaning device. Presumably, the idea is your system identifies as a problem, it's to do with cleaning, and then the device is activated. Have I understood that correctly?
Yeah. So our system, the particularity of our system is that it uses only the measurements of voltage and intensity current for each row of the installation. And this type of measurement are generally done for each installation. So for this reason, it does not require any new device installed close to the panel. And this is the first novelty of our system in comparison to other existing systems, which require, as an example, microinverter or other elements installed close to the panel. So this is the first part of the question. The second part regards to the controlling of the IoT device. The point is that our system, for now, allow the monitoring of the system and to identify the presence of some anomaly and so on, and to identify the location of it. But our IoT cleaning device, which consists on the combination of automatic device installed and mounted in the upper side of the panel. When it will be finished, it is possible to solve also the cleaning problem, because in this way, Simon controls the activation of the cleaning device, and not only it is possible to localize the anomaly and the presence of some element which cover the panel, but it also automatically to control the activation of the cleaning, which is a sort of screen which clean the panel, and so it is possible to solve all type of problems occurring in the system.
Okay, thank you very much. Mike, Hugh, any questions?
Just one from me. So I'm not sure if I've misunderstood it or the internet was dropping out. Are you able to tell specifically which panel needs cleaning or which panel is malfunctioning without any additional hardware?
Yeah.
Okay, really interesting. I'd like to look into that more.
We tested this version with which we are working now of Simon in our actual clients, and there is an echo. And we observed that our clients recovered around in energy produced every year by using our monitoring system.
Okay, Donatella, thank you very much indeed. Well, obviously, we wish you great success with what you're doing, and certainly I'll follow what you're doing with considerable interest. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Costa, back to you to introduce our next pitch.
Sorry about that.
It's me already.
Yeah. So we're going to bring it on. You've finished your pitch, so you might as well go on. Sorry about that, Laura.
Oh, okay. Let me share the screen.
Bear with him. He was just pitching in general, as was Laura.
Can you see it? Okay.
William, we've got the screen. Thanks very much. Please proceed.
Okay. So again, sorry for any problems I may have caused with this. I'll keep going, coming and going. So I try to be brief and do not have any more problems. As I mentioned, my name is William Molina, and I am one of the co-founders of Isus Mobility. Much has changed throughout this last year. We were forced to learn to live further away from each other. We have added masks to our usual wardrobe, and started to do even more things online, including our purchases. This sector in specific had an estimated growth of around 60% during this year, which has also implied in a growth of more than 90% of the last mile deliveries. Bringing up a major question. How would these deliveries be made? Even before the arrival of the COVID-19, the last mile delivery vehicles already represented 35% of the traffic in big cities, generating almost 40 million tons of CO2 and more than 70,000 accidents just in Spain. This shows how much this sector still needs to evolve, and that is why we developed the next step in this evolution, the Isus. The Isus is a completely electric 4-wheels vehicle that can carry up to 500 liters of cargo in a stable and safe way, while also being able to make a complete change of direction without leaving the bike lanes. Our vehicles also comes with a feature of exchangeable batteries and cargo modules, making it an adaptable and always ready to work vehicle. By switching the common vans by the ISOs, companies can not only increase their productivity, but also reduce their costs and help to reduce the pollution and traffic jams in the cities. Our business model consists on the commercialization of our vehicles and its additional features to local last mile delivery companies, commercial centers, and public administrations by direct sales or through a monthly renting fee, which would also include maintenance services.
William, sorry to interrupt your flow. Your deck is stuck on the first slide, certainly for me. I don't know if it's the same with Mike and Hugh. So
yeah, that's the same for me.
The deck is not actually progressing. Now, if that's going to be an issue because of time constraints, please just carry on. You can see the slides. We can see them down the side, but not in the main screen. So please don't take a long time to sort that out, but I thought it was fair to let you know that.
Oh, sorry. That's strange. Okay, so I will just finish and then you can visit our booth if you want. Our deck will be there as well. And
No,
sorry for
thank you. Thanks for doing that, William. Appreciate it.
Okay, so as I was saying, we started our activities focusing on the Spanish last mile sector because it's a vast market with a great growth trend, especially due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and also because we have already some contacts in it. However, we have already established plans to expand our activities to other countries in Europe, such as France, Germany, and the UK. That is because we have studied our competitors and believe we can occupy a considerable gap in the market and have not been attended by them. Our financial prediction is to reach by the year of 2023 a profit of almost 8,500,000 euros with an average monthly fee, with an average monthly production of 130 vehicles. Our team is composed by me, a master in mechanical engineering, Juan José Garcia, a master in administration, Francisco Soriano, who has more than 5 patents in his name and is the lead of this idea, and Eduardo Navarro, who has more than 20 years of experience as a controller. Together, we have the dream of offering sustainable micromobility solutions that can improve the life of the persons living in urban centers. Thank you for your attention, and we are ISOs. New ways for new times.
William, appreciate it very much. And thanks for proceeding.
Right, thank you.
We'll certainly look at your slides when we consider judging, so please don't worry about that. So one question from me. I'm certainly aware personally of another 4 or 5 similar-ish solutions in different countries. So I know that the competition in this last mile delivery for this type of vehicle is very fierce. Why do you think your solution will be successful in such a highly competitive sector?
That will be because of our 2 main features. One being the most principal, our electronic direction system. I mean, the vehicle doesn't have a mechanical direction. You don't have a steering wheel. The handlebar you see is just for a matter of making a more common interface for the driver to conduct the vehicle. But the vehicle or make its turns or go in line by the difference in power of the two wheels, similar like a hoverboard. That allows us to take costs from the production because we have less pieces, we have a more simple and light structure, and we have way more maneuverability. Like I mentioned, we can make a curve of 360 degrees inside of the bike lanes. And our other main feature will be the exchangeable batteries and cargo modules, which means that we have a base vehicle and the cargo space that you see is just one of many that would come. So we can have a cargo space, especially designed for the last mile deliveries. We can have one for the transportation of domesticated animals, for markets, the transport of groceries for persons, which we have already started doing, one for storage centers, for factories that have a big plant and need to move tools, documents from one place to another. So it's like one vehicle with infinite possibilities of uses.
Excellent. Well, listen, thank you very much indeed. Mike, I don't know if you can, you have any questions you want to raise briefly?
Yeah, one word answer. What TRL level are you?
We are currently at a 7, I believe. 7 6. The vehicle is not yet for sales. We are currently on pilot tests with local companies that are our partners.
Great, thank you. Mike, anything?
No, nothing from me. Thank you, William.
Okay, so we're going to go to Laura. I'm just going to finish up moderating, so she's just jumping in. Sorry that we've run behind everyone.
Hi everyone, just going to...
Hello Laura, thanks for being patient and waiting for us. Sorry for the
Just going to find my screen. So it's loading. Okay, I'm good to go.
Yes, we have that now. Thanks very much. Please go on.
Lovely. Great. Okay, so my name's Laura Sue. I'm business director for Swift Comply, and I work in the very glamorous industry of sewage. At Swift Comply, we protect the environment and we use entrepreneurship for positive change. And I'll start by sharing with you a background to the problem. Seems to be a bit slow. Here we go. So fog, fat oil and grease, is the byproduct of food prep. It's produced in every single kitchen, but in great quantities by food businesses. Fog is the cholesterol of sewers. Over time, it cools, hardens and congeals and glues with other unflushable items. This creates what we call a fat bag. Now, a fat bag cools like concrete and blocks sewers. And when sewage has nowhere to go, it always manages to find a way to escape. This causes disruption through road closures, property flooding, contaminated natural waters, and of course, it's a huge danger to humans and wildlife. The good news is this is preventable and we have a solution for it. We digitally connect 3 key stakeholders of fog management. And in this process, we've also created the world's first marketplace for fog solutions. Now I have a little video. I'm just going to push play.
That's why we started Swift Comply. We connect restaurants with vendors and regulators to streamline compliance. Here's how it works. We notify the restaurant when a service is due. They seamlessly book and pay on Swift Comply. When the work is completed, we create and send a digital certificate to the inspector for verification. It's that easy. No more paperwork, no more inspections, guaranteed compliance. Swift Comply. We simplify environmental compliance for more sustainable communities.
Okay. So this is our dashboard. It provides analytics and data on compliance status and locations. The biggest impact here is by digitizing this process is we're creating a brand new stream of data. This data is not currently collected in any system. At the moment, it's stored in paperwork form at individual business premises. So our software completely enables smart city monitoring. Cities, water authorities, regulators can now see and predict where problems may arise. On the customer side, businesses can source everything that they need from the marketplace of services and also self-declare their compliance. Our marketplace also creates new opportunities for service providers, improves overall customer experience and market competitiveness. So since founding in Dublin in 2016, we've achieved a number of successes. We're recognised as the most innovative startup by Enterprise Ireland and Techstars London. We've been awarded €2 million by Horizon 2020. We've expanded into the US. We now help over 450 city clients across 5 different countries of the world. And we've secured some high-profile investors who have supported in the likes of Facebook, OpenTable, and Upwork. This year, we're hosting the European Fog Summit in the UK. We've got some leading partners such as Southern Water, British Water, and the Unblocktober campaign. And here, we're all big advocates for sustainability. So through our solution, by collaborating with the right partners, we truly believe we can create a new circular economy that turns fog waste into a renewable energy source. At the moment, we predict around 250,000 tonnes of fog is discharged into sewers in the UK alone. That's enough to prevent 1 million tonnes of greenhouse gas emissions if we convert that to biodiesel. So it's a very long-term goal that we're working on. But ultimately, it would create a lot of new jobs and opportunities for many, whilst most importantly, protecting the environment. So what would it mean to win? We are the only company in the UK with a solution like ours in the fog market. We are relatively new entrants into the UK. We'd leverage any win as a platform to show the real good that we can do and achieve through this digital transformation. We'd love to secure pilots, contracts, and mentors. That's me. Thanks.
Laura, thank you very much. It's super interesting. One question from me just to kick off. Your platform, it seems to me, requires you to have relationships with service providers. So those with whom the restaurants book services, the cleaning operations, tests, that kind of thing. How easy or difficult or challenging is it for you to get those service providers to accept bookings from the restaurant, in your examples, through your site to them? How does that work?
The connection between the restaurants and the booking the service providers.
Yeah, how do you secure all of those service providers onto your platform so that the restaurants know they're getting a fair deal?
Yeah, so it's a little bit like starting from scratch, really, like any new software platform or marketplace like this. It's a new way of doing things, just how Just Eat was new, Uber was new. We need to promote, market ourselves, create the connections, build relationships, and just get ourselves known. But we've had many conversations with service providers, especially in the fog industry, who need something different. The way that we're doing things at the moment is not efficient. It's very paper-based. And this is a way of optimizing their business operations as well.
Excellent. Thank you. Mike, Hugh.
Hi, Laura. I thought that was really good, really interesting. Well, I suppose my question is the long-term goal here to stop the build-up in the sewers that's going to cause all the roadworks and stuff? And so what kind of timescales? You said it was kind of long-term, but how long-term are we talking until we're getting to the stage where everybody's involved in this?
That's a hard one to put a timescale to. This has been a problem that's been around for ages and things haven't worked. But there's never been a digital data-led smart city approach. So we're hoping this is it, and we truly believe it is. But it's not an overnight thing. It will take years to get to that point, but we're hoping to build momentum, work with water companies, city councils, really get the message across that this compliance, this software is monitoring your compliance. You can't get away with polluting the sewers. You need to do what you need to do as a responsible business, and we're monitoring that now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Hugh, anything from you?
Yeah, I'm interested. It's firstly really good pitch. Thank you for doing it, and thank you for bearing with us with our time slips. What I'm quite interested by is how you're able to predict where the fatbergs are likely to be created and whose problem that is. You know, if it's a restaurant who's having to pay for the fatberg to be replaced, then great. But yeah, how are you able to kind of whose problem is it where these fatbergs are created?
Okay, so it's the problem of the water company to fix. They own the sewers, but how they get around it is they issue fines and penalties to the restaurants because they've caused the blockage. How we can predict this type of thing is if we take a smart city example, if we get data from all of the restaurants in the city, we can see what street or what cluster is compliant and who's non-compliant. And if there's a particular street or cluster that are non-compliant, we can go and investigate there and say that it's likely that it's from this area. It rules it out or in if it's fog or non-fog related.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and that's really cool. I really like it. Thank you.
Great.
Excellent. Well, Laura, thank you very much for a great pitch. We wish you every success, of course. And just to repeat, use thanks for bearing with us in terms of time.
That's okay.
From me to all of the pitching companies, Hugh, Mike, thanks very much. Apologies again for not being able to get on at the beginning. We've got some judging to do now, and I think there's some procedures to follow. But Gemma's set all those out for us. So great working with you guys. Thanks very much. I'm sure our paths will cross again.
Yes.
Brilliant. Nice to meet you all.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.